3 legs to my farmer's stools. Those of you who've heard it, and people laugh. Some people laugh at me about talking about farmer's stools and 3 legs. Probably, I assume it's because I'm a city boy and not a farmer, not because they don't believe in the rightness of what I'm saying. But we need all 3 customer bases. You know, what you do is you look at your market and you segment it. What are our segments? We have operators. More than half our business is to operators. We export half our games. You know, in the United States, we're probably 30% sale to operators. Some of them are enthusiast operators, or some enthusiasts become operators. Okay? But 30% say here. In Italy, one of our biggest markets, where the IFPA world champion this year and 3 years ago was from, 99% at least operator business. Okay? In bars, 90% of the games in bars. So, you know, sometimes it's, you know, operators. Sometimes it's enthusiast collectors, you guys. And third, sometimes it's what I call tongue-in-cheek, and here's where I get in trouble. I say rich doctors and lawyers. In other words, middle class that want to have a game in their home. Okay? Rich doctor lawyers. Well, the purpose of the ELG is we can have not so rich doctor lawyers putting a game in their home. You know, they're going to play it halftime during the football game. They're going to play it for 3 weeks, but then they're going to play it Super Bowl halftime after the band's done, so forth, that kind of thing. So, if for them to think pinball's cool, they have to have played it, you know, at home. I mean, out in the street, and then they'll be interested in it. And the next generation of college kids, when they become semi-rich doctor and lawyers, they'll be interested in having a game if they played it in the street. If they've never seen a pinball machine, why are they going to want one of your collectible games? Why are they going to want a new game that becomes one of your collectible games? They'll just keep playing all their games on this. And we won't have any pinball machines, although you can play our pinball machines on this now, as some of you know, Farsight applications. I digress in telling you all this because I want to bring you up to date. But you know, we talked about cars. I'm going to do one more thing here, and the car analysis matches our business. Automobiles, Harley Davidson. There's a little Harley out in the parking lot here that's like mine. Businessmen my age, you know, we get crazy, so we have to have a Harley, you know, things like that. I have 2 convertibles, 2 old convertibles. A 2000 and 2002, but their tops go down. All cars are good if the top goes down. And of course I have to have my Harley. It's the same, but it matches. You know, guys who design cars or have car companies, you know, Iacocca or DeLorean. DeLorean originally was, you know, in the big car companies. They love cars. Okay? You know, you have car manufacturers, and you've got car dealers, and you've got companies that do one-off cars, you know, and the companies that make parts to customize the cars, you know, and people who collect the cars. And you have somebody who wants to try and make a car company, you know, a DeLorean, something like that, who wants to say, oh, I was in the car business, I'll start my own car company, that type of thing. And once in a while, maybe this guy with the electric car, the $100,000 one will be greatly successful. All the stars like it. Tellus, I don't know. Tesla, thank you. Maybe he'll be very successful. I hope so, because it's a nice green car. I hope somebody would make it. Listen, when they get to be used, maybe I can buy one, because I'd like to have a green convertible. I'd like to convertible. That's what we call them in Chicago. But right now, I don't have a gas car. So, you know, it's the same thing. We have the same thing. We have manufacturers. We have dealers. Pearl was standing there. You know, our job is to manufacture games. Their job is to sell the games to y'all. And then we've got people who make custom parts for it. We've got people who customize games. We have collectors who collect games and customize their collected games. We got people who want to go in the pinball business. We got people who make one-offs like Wodelli, things like that. It's the same thing as the car business or the Harley business. It really is. And you know, Iacocca or DeLorean, they love cars, and the designers love cars. We love pinball, And our designers love pinball. Lyman's here playing. He's a champion player. Loves pinball. But what's the purpose of the whole thing? Jobs said shipping is art. You know, Apple, shipping is art. The purpose of the whole thing is to manufacture these things and put them in the public. They don't design a car just to say, I designed a car. They designed a car to manufacture the car, because it costs money to design a car, and it does no good if nobody ever sees that car or drives that car. It does us no good to design a pinball machine and show it to y'all if we don't give it to y'all, sell it to y'all, deliver it to y'all, and deliver it to street operators and deliver it to rich doctor lawyers and what have you. We are manufacturers. My father's, I'll say later, my father started me at age 16 in the stockroom. We are manufacturers. That's what we do. We design games to manufacture them so that we have something to manufacture. We love what we design. Otherwise, we design soup bowls so we can manufacture soup bowls. But we're not in love with soup bowls. We're in love with pinball machines. But the purpose is to manufacture them. We're American manufacturers exporting half of our product. We're very patriotic. We put a sticker on the game that says, Made in America, Made in USA. And that's what we do. First and foremost, we're manufacturers, not designers, but we love our product. And that's what America needs. Now here goes my politics and so forth. That's what America needs. It needs more American-based manufacturing. We manufacture our ELG, our entry-level game, in our Chicagoland factory, not in China. Some of the parts come from China, I guess. They got Chinese writings in some of the parts boxes. But we design and manufacture here, and that's what this country needs. That's what we do. That's what Ford does. That's what Chevy does. And that's what we do. The key to it is manufacturing. And that takes a lot of people. It's a tough part. You know what? We're going to jump around here. Can you show that? Let's show that. How many of you have been to our factory? A few of you. Okay, so let's bring the factory here. Let's show you what it takes. That's Pat Powers, those of you talking to him on the phone. Tech service. This is Dorothy's Hands, the parts department. Chaz out of tech service, some of you talk to him. We have a great tech service department. Everything has to be inspected coming in, either 100% or A2L level. This is where my father started me in the old Williams. A little different today, but that's what manufacturing is. This is making boards for our cables. We make our own cables, all of our wiring harnesses. We are manufacturers. Now, a lot of this cable will be reduced one day. This four-poster press pinpricks the playfields that belong to Gottlieb. You cannot make pinball without a four-poster press. It puts spotting holes where every part, every screw is going to go in there. These air guns are torque adjusted once a week, so it's a little fixture, all kinds of assembly fixtures. You need lots of fixtures for assembly, lots of test fixtures, and you'll see that being done throughout this factory, so testing as things go along. There's little assembly fixtures, wood, metal. Don Thorne, the guy in the striped shirt, is plant manager. There's George Gomez. Don's been with me 30 years. John Rothamel, mechanical engineer. That was good. Oh, that was quick. So more engineers. That's Shelley Sachs. She's been with me 30 years. Jim Pelt, who started on the assembly line. He's in charge of domestic sales. And again, George Gomez. John Ford, another really becoming a great designer. The great Steve Ritchie. This is Andrew in our accounting, and her mother, Charlie. We big believers in nepotism. That's how I got in this business. And once the game is all built, something has to happen to it. And where does it go? It goes on a truck and it gets shipped. This is what it takes in staff to make pinball machines. We'll make 5,000 or so pinball machines this year, and that's up about 25% from where we were last year, a little more than 25%. I'm very proud of all these people, and I'm very proud that we're manufacturers, and that's what we do. You know, as I said, my father started me in the stockroom, and that's because it's not a design business. It's a manufacturing business, just as a car company is a manufacturing company. We're still here? Okay. So why do I do this? How did I get into all of this? Why am I making pinball machines? I'm 67. I could retire. I get Social Security. I do. I collect Social Security. I mean, I'm that age. I'm in this, not unusual that, you know, presidents' kids become presidents. Presidents' kids, candidates who ran for president and lost have sons that run for president and law and lose. Bush, Romney. Actors' kids become actors. Doctors' kids become doctors. You know, sometimes something else, but you know, truck drivers' kids become truck drivers. Candlestick makers' kids become candlestick makers. It's something, you know, you're around it. You know, last name Shoemaker because your family was shoemakers. Let's put the next picture up. And that's my father. He made pinball machines. His parents were immigrants. His father was you know, sold to a garbage dealer. He bought potato sacks and sold potato sacks, that type of thing. And my father was born in 1912. In the late 30s, a couple of friends of his, they were cops, and they said, you should try operating these games. So, I mean, what's he, a 20-some-year-old punk kid? I can say that because I'm 67, so I can call a 20-some-year-old punk kid. My kids aren't around. Yeah, I can do that too. But in any event, so they said, you know, put these pinball machines out. So he got 2 pinball machines, and they, you know, these countertop ones from the 30s, the ones that, you know, would run on nickels or pennies, and they had ads that said they would pay for themselves in 1 day, 3 days, whatever it is. And he puts them in a drugstore, you know, they're on the counter, and the next day he comes back to see how, you know, what's up with his machines, and they're behind the counter and somebody else's machines are there. And he goes to these 2 friends of his, you know, who told him to go there, these cops, and said, what did you get me into? They took my machines out of there. Sam, we didn't say put them there. Those are the wrong guys. Because in those days, sometimes you had the wrong guys. You were supposed to put your machines over that location. Okay, so he takes his 2 machines, you can carry them, puts them over in that location. 10 o'clock that night, he gets a phone call. One of his 2 machines is broken. That's it. I am done with this thing, he says. I want no more to do with this business. He goes running down to fix whatever it was so they wouldn't be mad at him. Pinball machines in those days, you know, were the little countertop things with the pins, and they had a push chute. And the problem is the chute wouldn't push in. And it wouldn't push in because there was too much money in it for it to push anymore. All of a sudden, he was a pinball operator from, you know, for then on. He used to take my mom out on dates and stop at a spot and empty the jukebox to pay for the date. He was a pinball manufacturer.